Hey, and welcome to week 7 of The Artist's Way, Recovering a Sense of Connection. Now, I've actually enlisted a lovely helper today to sort of gloss over the topics in the chapter, and then I am just going to stop and speak about perfectionism. And then the rest of it, I'm just going to have a little bit of an assistant throughout. So the first topic that we're talking about is listening. And again, not talking about it, just listen and read the chapter, read that section. The next one that we're talking about is perfectionism. And perfectionism is really not about being perfect and getting it right. It's really about stalling yourself and putting things off, trying to make it so perfect. Like for me with being a writer or photography, I could stumble over sentences. It's good to edit, but then there comes a point where you have to let it go. You have to release it into the world. It will never be perfect, and that's okay. But for you to stumble and just continue to get in a loop over it means that you're not allowing yourself to be creative. You're really just getting stuck. So really focus on that if you happen to be a perfectionist. I used to be what would be considered a reverse perfectionist. If I couldn't do something perfectly, I wouldn't even try. I wouldn't even get started because I knew I couldn't do it perfectly. And again, going back to the fact that it's okay to be a beginner, you've got to get the opportunities. You've got to give yourself the opportunities to be a beginner, to be able to release into the world and not get hung up on it being perfect. All right, enough about that. The next one is risk. Now, risk is a great thing. I will just sort of touch on that. I'm not a risk taker, and yet I've learned how to take risks. I'm obviously not jumping out of airplanes, which some people certainly would do. It's fairly safe to do that. However, the risks I'm even talking about are, again, taking that creative aspect of your life and allowing yourself the risk to share it with others. We've talked about being safe, sharing it with safe people to begin with. And then eventually you can share it with other people and it won't affect you in the same manner that it may have a few weeks ago because you're strong enough, you're standing in it, and you're owning it. All right, the next thing is, can you tell me?
Jealousy!
Jealousy! All right. And again, jealousy is really a lot about if you feel a jealousy from somebody else, that's actually a voice telling you, maybe I want to try that. So instead of just being jealous of them, take a step in it and say, you know what? There's room enough for all of us because there is. All right. The next one is
the jealousy map.
And that's an exercise in the chapter. So, really take the time to do that because, again, it's not just the tasks in the chapter. There are exercises as well. And the next exercise is
archaeology with a backwards G. Not perfect.
Which, again, it's okay to not be perfect. So those are the basics. Is that pretty much everything?
That's
my lovely
it.
assistant? You want to poke your head in and say hi? Okay, a hand is good. Anyway, get into the chapter. We're a little late this week, but that's life.
It's not perfect.
Exactly. So have a good time. Do your morning pages, your artist date. Enjoy the process. See you next time.
So long.